Hello guys, it's William Bebo from LEGO Zombies, etc. The World's End is the third in the Cornetto trilogy, whereupon 5 old friends return to their hometown to catch up on a pub crawl, where they find out that the town has been taken over by robots full of blue stuff. Now, I've always wanted to conquer the Golden Mile. However, I've never been able to since, well, I'm underage, and it's a fictitious town. However, this summer, I decided to do something similar to that. I'm going to go to every 7-Eleven in town. Okay guys, I made it to the first 7-Eleven. Now, this is similar to the first pub that Gary and his enablers come across in the World's End, the first post. It's called the first post because it's the first bar they come across, and it was initially a post office. The second 7-Eleven I came across looked nothing like the first one, which is why it would be a poor substitute for the Old Familiar, which is called that because it looks just like the first post. Okay, I've made it to the third one, which in the movie was called The Famous Cock. Now, I've heard 2 different reasons on why it was called The Famous Cock. One is in relation to Gary King being remembered as the town's famous cock. The other is as Basil, who always talks about the Bermuda Rhombus and the Aqua Nazis. They called the 4th bar in the movie the Cross Hands because that was where they teamed up to fight off the robots. Odd that there's nothing here. Now this is the 5th one, which in the movie is called The Good Companions. IMDb pointed out that in the poster for The Good Companions, you see 1 happy mask and 4 other sad ones, because this is the one where they all pretend to be having a good time, except for Gary, who actually is having a good time. Similar to The Famous Cock, there are 2 different reasons why the 6th pub is called The Trusty Servant in the movie. One is because of the Reverend Green being like a trusty servant to them. The other is because this is the bar where Oliver is replaced. The 7th bar that Gary and his enablers come across is called the Two-Headed Dog, because this is the one where he, Steven, and Sam team up to fight the twins. The 8th bar was called the Mermaid, because this is where they met the marmalade sandwich. Now, I suppose it's a metaphor for the sirens from Greek mythology. In the Odyssey, the sirens were bird women. The change must have been made during the 17 or 1800s when mermaid culture was popular. Okay guys, I made it to the 9th one, which in the film is called the Beehive, because the robots work together as a hive mind to thwart Gary and his enablers. Now after they go to the Beehive, they go to this place they call the Smokehouse. But since I'm not going to any smokehouse, instead I'm gonna go to Siren's Rock. My name is Phineas and I'll be serving you today. Where's the restroom? Upstairs, first door. Thank you.
I'm using it now.
Hey, excuse me. These are 1-person bathrooms. How did you get in here?
Please, don't.
I don't want. Get out!
I don't want to do this.
How don't I? Oh, okay, crap. It's just a normal body. Crap. Crap, there's no way out. Try to steal this thing. Return to sender, blood bag, lest I drain ye like the cannibals what comb Lystragonia's shores. I'm seeing duck out here. I gotta find my bike. I don't know what the hell that is, but it's definitely not mine. I honestly don't know what the point of that was. Well, since the Siren's Rock was dry, I got myself a bite at the King's Head. Yes, I know that that's from another movie, but just let me have my joke. Anyway, in the movie it's called the King's Head because this is where Andy punches Gary in the face. I finally made it to the 11th one, which in the movie was called the Hole in the Wall. It was called this because, well, Steven drove a car through the wall, leaving a hole. Hence the name Hole in the Wall. And just like that, I've made it to the last one, which in the movie, hence the title, was called The World's End. That was because the world actually ended, but fortunately...
Oh yeah, I believe this is yours.